Nick, I will say, I got to ask you, ever been evicted?
I have not. I have not.
Well, you know that's happening to Tommy B.
Oh,
Tom
okay.
Brady?
Oh, Thomas.
Okay,
Old Thomas
all right.
Brady.
You know, he may not be getting evicted, but he is getting a new, how would you say this? Landlord? Because apparently Derek Jeter took that house that Tom Brady was renting. He's like, hey, buddy, I got to sell this bad boy. Because Derek Jeter, I don't know if you know this about him. Oh, no, I'm thinking of A-Rod. I get those guys mixed up, I'm a football
both
guy.
Yankees legends. It happens.
Yeah,
It
for
happens.
sure. Because A-Rod, if you look at him, he's all over TikTok talking about real estate and flipping and stuff. So I thought it was him. But Derek Jeter, man, come on.
Look at that. Kicking Brady out of his house. Wow.
Yeah. But you know what? I will say, I don't think he would ever kick any of his players off his team because they got hurt training for his team.
That's true.
And not pay him.
That's very true.
I'm sure he gave Tom like 30 days notice or something to find a new
Probably give him a heads up. Look, there's no love lost between me and Tom Brady. If you're familiar with the show, you probably know that. If you're not, you don't know how much I dislike Tom Brady. Myself and Tom Brady.
Why is that?
Well, let's go into a little story time here. So when I was, you know what? I'm even going to use this. Look, here's the deal. So when I was probably around the age of 10 or 11, I was in Champaign, Illinois for a wedding. This was the season that the Bears were playing all of their home games in Champaign because they were updating Soldier Field. And so, if you guys are familiar with the show, myself and Scott, both from the great state of Illinois, and so a lot of Bears fans that we know. We're personally not Bears fans, but when the Bears are playing in Champaign, you're down there for a wedding. My dad, my uncles, my grandfather thought, hey, let's go to the game, right? Now, had a great time at the game. Don't get me wrong. Got to meet Larry Izzo was the fullback that the Patriots had, I believe.
Larry.
Same last name as us. We were at the tailgate right next to his uncle and cousin. It was fantastic. It was awesome. So a great game, by the way. But the day before we were in the hotel, myself, my brothers, and my dad, the Patriots bus pulls up. Players start unloading from the bus. Unloading, getting out, walking through the hallway here to go to the lobby and get their room keys. Fascinating if you've never seen it, by the way. We can get into that another time, but fascinating to watch how those teams travel and how they do what they do. But anyway, so these players are walking in, they're coming in, and we realize, oh, this is the hallway where you can go see them. So people from the hotel start flooding out into this hallway, and they're kind of on both sides of the hallway, and the players are walking through the middle of this kind of small group of fans. There's maybe 30 or 40 people kind of milling about in this general area as the players come in. Players are, signing stuff for people, shaking people's hands. Some of them are just kind of keeping it moving. Some of the less notable guys, like you definitely, they're just kind of keeping it moving. Punters, kickers, guys like that. They're heading up to the room. But a few of the bigger name guys are stopping and talking to people, which was awesome. Well, then all of a sudden, here comes old Thomas Brady. That stupid idiot. He comes walking in and
sticks around for a reason.
He comes absolutely. Should have went undrafted, that bozo. But he comes walking up, and we're standing there, and this is
he's acting like a first rounder, I imagine.
This is probably Tom Brady at the point where he's been he's probably won one or two of the Super Bowls at this point. I mean, he's a big star, and so my dad asked him, "Hey Tom, come take a picture of my kids, please?" And we're all standing there, me and my brothers. My brothers are younger than me, so we're like, these kids are like in second grade. Right? Like we're young kids. We're all excited to meet Tom Brady. And Tom Brady looked quickly at us and just gave us a look like nope. And was like, nah, I gotta get to the room. And then walked up and then over to some people in Patriots jerseys and started talking to those kids. He's taking pictures, the whole thing. And from that day on, I think that guy is a scumbag. I tell you what, I think he's a scumbag. People forget he cheated on his pregnant wife originally before Giselle, or his fiance. I think they were engaged at the time. Bridget Moynihan, allegedly. I'm not, once again,
it doesn't
don't
make
need
it
Tom
better.
Brady coming out for him after allegedly cheated on his pregnant fiance, and that's just the type of guy he is. Just a real scumbag, just a real low life. So that's the way I feel about Tom Brady. I'm glad he got evicted. I hope they threw his bags out on the lawn, and if I ever see Tom Brady, I'm gonna tell him to go fuck himself. That's how I feel.
Oh, you mean his Louis Vuitton bags out on the lawn?
That's how I feel about Tom Brady.
Tom, you and your Louis Vuitton bags, you guys can go get fucked. Yeah, I don't think he cares too much. But understandably so, to be having that frustration toward Tommy B. But I will say, do you think he's changed? And if he saw you again, he might take a picture this time around.
With that being said, probably the energy that I would have towards him, he would probably decide not to take the picture with me. But I do think that, in fairness, what I will give Tom Brady is, at the end of the day, like, you still cannot deny the talent that the guy has. He's an unbelievable quarterback.
For sure.
He's the best football player of all time. I'm not up here to say that
he's top 2 and not
I'm
one.
not up here to say that he's not. I am talking about my own personal feelings towards Tom Brady, me and him. If it's just me and him, like, as I would feel about anyone. Fantastic football player, a great football player. He's fun to watch, to be honest with you. But as a person, no, man. If I see that dude, I mean, at the end of the day,
you know what, Tom? It looks like you created an enemy.
Tell him to kick rocks.
Luckily for you, Tom, Nick decided to go the other route and get in, to some media style stuff. And he didn't go the route of just bulking up, playing football 24/7, so he could be a strong safety and he can come and knock you on your ass.
That's a fact.
You're lucky he didn't go that route and he went this route. A little more peaceful. We'll talk with our words. We'll talk it out at the end of the day. But, hey, Tom, if you ever want to be on the show, we're going to call Aaron and see if we can get him instead.
Yes, 100%.
So, I think he'll learn his lesson, and he might have, about interacting with fans in front of other fans that you just told, no, you don't want to interact in front of. Like, hey, if you're going to step out, at least, like, go into the other room, you know what I'm saying?
Just keep it moving. Don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't mingle around with other people after you told some 9-year-olds you don't want to take a photo with them because you're too big time. He's too big time,
I will say, it's hard being king.
It sure is.
Okay.
It sure must be.